In order to demonstrate our knowledge of piecewise functions, we are going to be creating a roller coaster project in Desmos. So what our goal is to do is, based on the rubric that I have included, we want to include the required functions of one linear function, one quadratic function, one absolute value function, and one square root function. You will be required to restrict the domain correctly. You will be required to include at least two supports for the roller coaster. So as you can see, I have a support here, I have a support here, and a support here. So you can include as many extra functions as you would like in order to make this piece come together and make it appear as if it is a roller coaster. If we look at the rubric here, you want to make sure you include a reflection on the project to explain how this project affected your understanding of piecewise functions, because what this project is designed to do is it is designed for me to clearly see that you understand what a piecewise defined function is, you understand how to correctly restrict the domain and the range when necessary. The graph must begin at 0, 0, just as it would be realistic to do so. So if you look here, I can show you. If you go up to the tools, to this wrench, if you click on, so originally it's going to have grids, it's also going to have a y-axis. However, after I went through and I created my functions and I created it, so you'll see here it begins at 0, 0. After I created it so it connects as if a roller coaster would do so, I went up here just as you will want to do. And I went and I removed the grid and I removed the y-axis so it's more realistic. So the horizontal x-axis goes with the ground. So we want to make this as realistic as possible. So you'll see I added the supports just to make it look more realistic. So I can show you how you would want to get your project started. So you would just simply go to desmos.com, make sure you're signed into your account, and you would want to go to the graphing calculator, and then you can title your graph with the project over here. And then I can simply start with y equals x. And then notice that's a function that goes continuously, infinitely. But let's say that I want to restrict it so it starts at 0, so less than or equal x values are less than or equal to 0. And then I want to say that it stops, we'll say it stops at 6. So there's my first piece. I would recommend starting with a linear piece. However, you can start with a quadratic, you can start with a square root or an absolute value function. So once again, here is my finished piece. Yours should not look the same. Just make sure you are following all of the 6 requirements that are listed here on the rubric.